What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Outdoors with Craig DZ. Thanks for tuning in. Gonna do a little dumpster update today. Apologize for the delay in content. Ended up losing two cameras, no idea where they are. One of the videos that would have been on that, I had a short on it, but all the content would be lost if I can't find them still. It's been a couple weeks. Was the boat you would have saw. I'll go into that in detail, but let's get going. The content that I lost, and I want to talk about kind of not selling yourself short, right, for this dumpster update, was really around, trying new things, right? So I had a bank-owned property, which ended up turning, into a gold mine, basically. Made a good partnership with a guy. He said, anytime he's up here, he's out of Jersey, but anytime he gets a bank-owned property in this area, I'm going to be his go-to dumpster guy. But they ended up renting, I think it was 420 yarders, full clean out of this bank-owned property. Then they redid all the sheetrock inside. They redid the roof, I think, of it. But on the property as well was a boat. And so that's where that video came from, my little short of it. I backed it up and rolled it off the trailer on purpose. But to give you guys an idea, if you think outside the box, right? So that was a boat removal. Yes, I have an excavator. Not everybody has the ability to do that, but you could talk to your local dumps. They may be willing for you to bring it there and they'll break it up, maybe charge you something to do that and get rid of it. I double checked with where I go first, but he was okay with me bringing the full boat and breaking it up. But boat had sat for a while, needed some work, but overall, I mean, to get rid of the boat, weight, everything, I think was just shy of $1,000 is what I charged them. I think weight wise, it was like 3 tons, so like $350. So between gas and time, made out pretty good on that job. Then I also have a trailer that I sold for $700 cash. That was with the boat. So I made another instant $700 right off the rip. Didn't do anything to the trailer, didn't replace tires, fix the lighting, nothing. Just sold it, put it on Facebook Marketplace. And now I still have the motor out of the boat, which I need to scrap. And that's going to be probably another $200-300 in scrap. So all in all, I mean, that job, just the boat alone, turned into probably almost a $2,000 profit. And that simply started, it was a little ways out, farther than normal that I would have done, but it was well worth it. So something to think about when you guys get contacted by people. Figure out if it's a contractor, you never know, right? All right, so here's my truck trailer. So maintenance, new tires since I last made an update. These tires, so I didn't go with the Venoms that I used to have. These are, I don't know, some Radar brand. They're rated high. Some good YouTube content reviews around these. So we'll see how these last, because my other tires got about, I don't know, maybe 5,000 miles out of them. Those Venoms, second set out of both of them, very similar. Even once I added the airbags, I didn't really get much better wear out of them. So we'll see. These are 12 ply. We'll see how they do. Hopefully if I can get 10,000 miles out of these or something, I'll be happy. It was about 1,300 shipped to my door. I think it was tire priority, all said and done. Another thing, so going through, come up winch, I got to reach out to Bison because I haven't heard back from them, but this piece, you can see I just spun it. This broke again. The bracket broke for the second time. They were supposed to send me another one. It's obviously some type of flaw, like a cheap bracket that, obviously keeps breaking. I'm not doing anything special, just wear and tear, bumps, but that's twice this year that bracket has broken. So we did some modifications, so it's kind of on there differently, and hopefully it should stay, but I have to see about a bracket. But long term, I'm gonna have to figure something else out. Also, walk around the trailer, it's about, I don't know, 5 o'clock, but you can see, I mean, sun's setting, it's getting dark early. Daylight savings time is going to go into effect in a couple weeks here. So I added, this was another short I think I showed, but a spotlight up here. There's actually a floodlight. I don't know if I can get it on the camera now, but it's underneath here in the middle. So I have that, so that way it kind of lights up the side area when I'm working. And then I added another rear flood. There's really no good way to split it and run two for the other side. I do have another one, but I wanted to see, you know, if I can get away with just one. But this, you know, will kind of light up the back a little bit. Obviously, if there's no container, that spotlight up front lights up everything. But when it has a container between the backup camera, which has infrared and can see in the night, and that spotlight, at least I have one side I can kind of use as a guider, and use that to kind of maintain my my placement and, you know, where I am on the driveway, all that type of stuff. Did another oil change too. Gotta empty that out and recycle that oil, but did another oil change. Truck wise, everything, knock on wood's running good. Tires, all that stuff's good. I did do maintenance, so I greased everything. And then the axles on these Bison trailers, see if I can find a spot. Yeah, it's already, they have these plugs, and it's basically just gear oil. So if you wipe all the crud off, there's you know, like lines you can kind of see, so you can probably see the shadow of the light, like the little, that yellow red color. So it's still, yeah, I can see the line like right there. This isn't completely level, so it's probably reading off, but I filled those up so that way the hubs, everything stays good greased. I got to go around and grease the wheels on all the dumpsters again, and just get that going. Diesel fuel prices while I'm here at the tank. I added one of those auto shut-off handles. Shout out to my buddy Mick, who was able to acquire that for me. Prices of diesel, I just filled this up yesterday, $5.99 a gallon. At the pump right now, as of filming this, it's Thursday, I think the 18th, 19th of October. It's like $5.70 a gallon. So I paid a little bit more than I could at the gas station, but based off of few, you know, the prices in the pumps over the next week or so, they're probably going to see over $6, and, you know, at that point I'll be saving quite a bit. Prior to this, I think my last fill up was $4.70. So again, before filling up here, I was saving almost $1 a gallon. So it goes to show you, I talked about it before, I mean, you can really save a ton of money getting yourself a tank. I mean, even if it's just 10 cents a gallon, it adds up throughout the year. I mean, I'm averaging probably anywhere between, you know, $150 and $300 a fill up, and I go through a tank basically a month now. So, you know, times that by 8, 9, you know, you're talking $2,000-$3,000 I've saved this year. What else do we have going on? So it's Thursday. I got some rentals, you know, cleaned up back here a little bit more, trying to widen this out. You can see firewood that was all through here is basically gone. I sold that, and I'm out of firewood. I actually sold my splitter the other day because I usually use the wood processor, and it's just not worth it for my time. I don't heat with firewood, so to split a few logs here or there, you know, there's some rounds up there that are, I'll just throw in the fire when I'm burning them. But yeah, trying to widen this out, because you can kind of see, also ripped down part of my chicken coop that when I get a free dumpster, I'm going to throw that stuff in. But I want to widen, push back this section, and then I'll have quite a big area additional to what I have today. So 2 dumpsters here. These are both going out tomorrow. They're rented. I have one on the truck that you saw, that's rented. So this will be the 4th week in a row that literally I've been booked out solid. So just a business update. You know, if you're wondering how dumpsters are going in my area, or at least for me, that's 4 weeks booked solid. I haven't had more than a day or two where one of these dumpsters has sat, and it's only because, you know, maybe I pick it up Monday and it's rented Wednesday, right? So like I can't rent it out Monday afternoon into Tuesday and pick it up and dump it and drop it off for somebody. So it sits similar to these, right? Like somebody called, I actually turned away 2 customers today that called needing dumpsters for this weekend, and I just don't have anything, and they weren't willing to wait. And if I zoom in, you know, there's the motor. You can see there's also some scrap here too that I have to throw away. I still have a little cleanup I need to do here. Here is the beast. been watching along, some of the recent content, right, has been excavation. I have an excavation job this weekend. I need to pop some stumps for a buddy, but I'm actually going to sell this trailer. It's actually listed right now for sale. It's just too much of a pain. If you're a homeowner or you're a contractor and you know you have an excavator and you move it once every 2-3 months, this thing's probably great for you. Next year I can see myself using the excavator probably almost every weekend, in which case it just becomes a pain loading it, unloading it. I had an incident a couple weeks ago at one of the jobs, I think that land clearing one that I posted last video, where one of the ramps fell off while I was loading it. You know, I had to spin. Luckily I can spin around on the trailer and not hit anything, so I was able to spin it around, push the ass end on, and basically, you know, lift it with the bucket and just push yourself on. And there's videos of people that kind of load it that way. It's kind of more of a intermediate to expert technique, I would say. But you know, if you're not too familiar, you know, definitely kind of scary when you hear the ramp fall out underneath you. So I really don't want to deal with that. Plus, unloading it on slopes, things like that, can just be a pain. So I'm going to get a tilt trailer like I wanted originally. If I don't sell this, I still will use it with the excavation stuff. It is nice to have a dump trailer. I mean, I currently still have my other one, my 10-yard that's out. I still have the 10-yard that's out, so we'll kind of see what happens. I've also started looking at hook lift trucks. Was doing initial research, right, like which way I want to go, and I saw just the other day like AF Dumpster, you know, he bought a brand new Mac, beautiful looking truck. So looking at getting one myself. I really would like to hold off till springtime, but I just don't know. I mean, there's a couple that I found. So the hook lift, if you do some research, like a pal finger hook lift, I found 20,000 pound lift capacity. That installed by me locally is about 42,000 with a tarping system on a chassis. So that doesn't include the truck, right? So that's if I go out and buy a truck. You know, used trucks, you're talking, you know, probably 20 to 30,000. So you're talking, you know, 70,000 to do that, unless I can find something, you know, at auction. It's a lot of money to spend. So looking around, I mean, there's some for sale, you know, with a year-old hook lift on a chassis for, say, 50,000. So I'm looking at options, but my worry is, right, like I see a couple things now. One doesn't have a tarper, so, you know, but I have kind of all winter to get a tarp, install it. Same with modifying all my existing dumpsters, right? I'll have to add the A-frame piece up here to the front of them to work with a hook lift. So I'd have all winter to kind of work on that stuff. So it's one of those things. I'm not sure, you know, if I'm going to pull the trigger on something in the next couple of weeks. You know, part of it doing some financial information, right? Like math. You know, if I sell that dump trailer, I basically can buy one cash. So, you know, that's kind of how business has been this year. So, while I won't have a payment, I just don't like the idea of having something. I mean, the excavator's already going to be sitting for a couple months during winter. So I don't know if I really want a hook lift truck. I mean, it'd be different if I could buy it and immediately start using it. But I can't. Right, so I have to retrofit everything, and it's just by the time I get that stuff up and running in the tarping system, right, like I mean, I could manually tarp them, but I've seen other guys doing that, and it's just a pain in the butt, right? Bringing a ladder with you with the truck and trying to tarp it. You know, I'd rather pay the $6-7 grand for a tarper. It's worth it all day long in time and safety. But yeah, so we got a lot going on. Dumpster, same thing. Probably going to put an order in. I mean, I was supposed to have 2 new ones already, you know, a couple months ago. I could have reordered them. They would have been in maybe this month, end of this month, next month. But again, they're probably just going to sit. So come January, I'll probably put an order in. You know, I have 6 today, including my dump trailers. I'll probably put an order for 5 or 6 more, you know, get up into the double digits. I'd rather have some that sit around all day, you know, that I can't rent, that sit here to the, you know, like this weekend. I'd rather have 2 sitting and the ability to rent more out than the situation where I'm at now, where it's like I got to pick them up. Like one of them, the Saturday's rental, the guy, he, you know, I was supposed to pick it up yesterday. The guy needed more time. So it's like, if I don't get that one back, that screws me out of the rental on Saturday. And that customer obviously isn't going to be too happy. So I'd rather get in a scenario, or potentially be in a scenario, which I know it's not going to happen. You know, once I get the more dumpsters, I'll probably just rent more dumpsters, and, you know, I won't have any available, which isn't a bad thing. But in theory, to have 1 or 2 laying around that I can pick up, drop off, and not have to worry so much about, all right, well, I need to pick this one up tonight and I need to dump it tomorrow morning, because if not, I can't drop it off tomorrow afternoon to the customer, right? I'm screwed. Or, well, I was planning on doing it Saturday, but the dump's closed, and so now I can't rent it to that person. You know, those are all scenarios. They're not really good for business. When you promise somebody a service and then you have to go back and say, hey, sorry. Other thing, you know, probably hear it in my voice, just getting over COVID. So had that last, you know, like a week and a half ago. So that was fun. And again, being a business owner, like I said, that business didn't stop, right? I still had containers. Like one customer, their house was closing, and, you know, I had to pick the dumpster up so they could close on their house. Similar, you know, had other rentals scheduled weeks in advance that I had to pick up dumpsters and dump them. So I worked through it. Wasn't fun. At one point I had 103 fever, but again, being a business owner, that's what you have to do sometimes. I mean, yes, I could have maybe asked somebody to help me out, but then you run into the risk, right? They're not on your insurance. They get in an accident, something happens, you know, then it's on you. You know, you're getting sued as the business owner or the business because somebody else tried to help you out, do the nice thing, and ended up, you know, backing into somebody's house or causing an accident, etc. So you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, things are seem to be slowing down. Business, October, September, August, definitely top months. I don't know if it's just a combination of marketing, branding. I know, like Google, top search results. If you search, you know, dumpsters near me in my area, I'm number 1. I don't pay for that. That's work that I've done. You know, I do IT stuff on the side, very knowledgeable about that. And so I'm not sure if it's like combination of that, ads, my name getting out there, people referring other people and friends, but it just seems like business the last couple months has just been taking off. And I know, reading the forums, people are complaining that, you know, business is slow. I know another guy, you know, locally, he's said it's really died off for him. He doesn't really get much. So whatever I'm doing, it appears to be working over some of my competition and other people in the area. So I can't complain. I'm hoping things will die off. Again, the hook lifts idea truck, I mean, the benefit I could see with that is I really don't want to run these with the trailer in the wintertime, because it just is a pain in the ass. It really is. I'm trying to back down small little driveways, back into the, you know, the driveway, back, you know, keep it out of the snowbanks, having to shovel the thing out because you got to, you know, I can only lift about 5 ton. You know, maybe 6 is kind of like max pushing it. So when you're dragging these through mud or grass or snow, it's just more wear, more pull, more tension on it, and less you can lift. So with the hook lift, those problems, a lot of that would go away, because it'd be easier to maneuver, be able to just rip the things right out of snowbanks, throw them into snowbanks, right? Like, you're not using, like with cable, you're using gravity to drop your dumpsters. With the hook lift, you're physically like pushing them off into where they go. So it's a thought. Ideally, like I said, I think I'm just going to take this last kind of winter to relax and have some time off. But I think next year you're going to see a hook lift truck. yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you for the support. Hopefully this video comes out good. I'm trying it out on my iPhone. Got another couple cameras ordered to help, but definitely get some content going here around dumpsters. Again, sorry for the delay. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Anything particular you want to see. But yeah, hopefully season's winding down here for us. So you can see, already got my sweatshirt on. It's chilly, like 50 degrees here today. But yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button to stay up to date on future content. And I will catch you on the next one.